right, looks like Sharky's ready, Nenu's ready, I'm ready. I think Chris Tang is ready. Is the chat ready?
I am ready.
I think I need to know that every single person in chat, all 2,400 people in chat are ready before we even start this. And I'm counting, guys. All right, there we go. Let's get this underway.
They're ready. Mm-hmm. Let's get that countdown going.
All right, give it all you got, Chris.
3, 2, 1. Tetris.
Beautiful.
And we are off. Number 9 seed Nenu versus number 41 seed Sharky. This is the finals for this. What do you call them?
This group? Group B?
Group B, which is one out of the 8 groups that will be playing. This is the first day. We've got 4 days of the competition for these brackets, and the other bracket that was done today was on Classic Tetris 2.
Chris, we're going to get to come back here and do this all again tomorrow.
I know, right? This is like having a CTWC like 4 years worth of it, like in 1 year. Just in terms of how much content and just so much that's gone into this.
Yeah, and fun and excitement as well. 4 years of excitement and fun packed into 4 really jam-packed days.
Yeah, and then there's December too, having the top 8. So, wow.
Yeah, it's more Tetris than you can handle.
Excellent.
All right, early goings here. Sharky 121, Nenu 98. Nenu with a hole in the middle of his stack here. It's going to limit him to a triple if he can get a long bar to go down there.
He's going to try to skim what he can of it off the top. Oh, he made a last second adjustment there. Yeah, and if he gets the right L piece, he can turn that into a triple. Oh, that works too.
Sharky's going to clear away the right side. Yeah, he's going to try a couple of safe moves there, trying to avoid putting the long bar in that situation in column 9, but game kind of forcing his hand. He's going to get the Tetris anyway, no problem. 196 for Sharky.
Yeah, Nenu with a juicy center well developing there. There it is. Boom, center well Tetris for Nenu.
137 for him. Oh, look at this kind of delayed, kind of like 5 piece in the future burn for Nenu. And he's going for a Tetris. Oh, no, he's not going to go for the Tetris. He's going to go for the triple. Could have gone for the Tetris.
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to do something with the center well, but he's also trying to make it safe just in case the long bar doesn't come. And he's set up for a T-spin, does it, clearing out that bottom, and now he's set up with a well on the right again.
All right, Sharky set up, waiting on the long bar. Sharky out to a very early 113,000 point lead here in game 1. Game 1 of potentially 10. I mean, this is a slugfest, Chris.
Yeah, this is already becoming, for the competitors. I mean, these guys pretty much have to play as many matches as they would have had they made top 8 or top 16 back in when we were a physical event in Portland. So it's a lot. Like you said, more Tetris than you can handle. But
it never gets old.
Just enough for these guys to handle, and they're getting it done.
I mean, this is a long day of Tetris, and even though they're not running around, they're not jumping and throwing things. I mean, this is a lot of mental effort involved in, and it's got to wear on you, and it's got to exhaust them at this point. I mean, how much Tetris have they played? Combined with the waiting around and all that kind of stuff. This is a real test.
Yeah. I mean, with the double elimination and all, it's not just a one and done thing. They're gonna put you through the ringer to find out really who's the best. Like you said earlier, this is unprecedented.
That's right. Sharky in the driver's seat, coming from the winner's bracket, only has to win once against Nenu. Nenu has to win twice. Sharky kind of in his zone right now, 461 through 106 lines, and Nenu not a bad pace at all, but Sharky's kind of next leveling it here.
Yeah, very comfortable lead, 10 lines ahead, but I mean can't make 100,000 with 10 lines.
Yeah,
Sharky really finding a groove there.
Yeah, you can tell there's a level of comfort and just ease at this moment, right?
Nice spin by Nenu. Get the line clear there.
Another Tetris for Sharky. He's got 12 lines to go until transition.
Wow, just fitting those together like it's easy. Great job with that. He is just a couple of Tetrises away from transition. Still with a 100,000 point lead. Nenu's in good shape though.
Yeah, and then it was matched him, kind of score for score over the last, 30 lines or so. But, Sharky just leapt out to that early lead.
Mm-hmm. Sharky transitions with a nice clean screen.
Yeah, 600k transition basically. Monster.
Yeah, maxed out pace.
Maybe with a little less spin there, trying to squeeze one more Tetris out of this.
Yeah, this is not where you want to get droughted though, so he plays it safe and takes a triple.
Yeah, you live to fight through 19, right?
Yeah, because if you get to survive that opening speed up as 19 starts, then you feel a lot more confident and can take more risks.
And plus the scoring, does sort of favor the way that these lines and Tetrises are scored. It favors sticking around to the later rounds because the how much you get for a Tetris or any line clear goes up as each level goes up, right? And so when you start on level 19, maybe it's worth 24,000 points, but when you get to level 28, it's worth, almost 36,000 points, right?
And it's really dependent on the long bar on the right now. Whew. He's going to have to burn some of that down. I'm not sure if he can get enough over there.
Yeah, I mean, he got the long bar that he was looking for, but he kind of sacrificed his whole stack to get it.
That was the solution he needed to survive, but he's still got work to do. Whew, that is some skill.
Oh, he missed the T-spin, like any of us would. And Nenu is going to top out at 588, and Sharky is good.
Yeah, that was a valiant attempt to survive, and really, that was a really tough dig. Yeah, it wasn't enough, and Sharky takes the first round.
All right, we got a ready from Nenu. We're going to need one from Sharky. Sharky, of course, characteristically taking a few moments there to just center himself, make sure he's in the right headspace. Clear mind. Clear mind, clear lines.
Yep. No, I mean, all athletes, when they're getting ready for their next round, you got to make sure you're centered and get your controller nice and free of any sweat, and make sure you're hydrated and do a few checks.
They are ready, so we'll get this underway. Game 2, Nenu and Sharky.
Three, two, one. Tetris.
Wow, you even provided your own reverb. That's pretty good.
Gotta find some way to match how epic these players are, and this kind of performance. I mean, after if Sharky's able to win this, I mean that's he's gonna be. I wouldn't say undefeated, but not having given up any matches.
Yeah, I mean, to just barnstorm your way through this whole thing.
That's a great confidence booster for sure.
Yeah, especially going into, of course, having to wait for December. I mean, that's the other challenge too. You kind of saw that dynamic again, just to crush this metaphor to death, right? Poker, right? They used to, have the World Series of Poker like all at once, just one big long grind, and they chopped it up until they had this November 9 concept. And in a lot of ways, this is the same kind of thing. So players are going to have an opportunity to, once they make this top 8, to sort of step away, review what they did, why they did it, and even to improve even more.
Yeah, they could have a new training regimen, slightly adjust for any weaknesses in their game, and maybe even study their competitors, see what their game. Yeah. we're at the point where, people are accepting this as a legitimate sport. And we were on ESPN. I thought it was great that, people like Anna and Uncle Mike, had heard about the thing and mentioned the ESPN thing. That means, the work that we did to get it there actually ended up mattering and increasing our audience and our community.
That's right. So tell a friend.
Yeah.
And by the way, I totally saw that line spin, just in case. I have a thing where I love line spins, and people like to point them out to me all the time. And they'll even post them in Discord and be like, tag me and say, here's a line spin, Vandweller, and I have to be very nice. Oh, Sharky, see, Sharky recognizes.
Sharky with a thumbs up.
Yeah, there you go. All right, 175 from Sharky, 233 from Nenu. So Sharky finding himself a couple Tetrises and a half behind, but still
starting
early.
to see some interaction between the players and the stream commentary, and that's we started to see that last year with in our live event in Portland. Joseph and Corian and Green Tea just having so much fun up there on stage, and that's what it's all about. Like, when it comes down to it, we're in a competition, but we're still here to have fun.
Yeah, you bet. 304 Nenu, 230 from Sharky. Sharky with a Tetris, though, keeping it within that sort of Tetris and a half differential.
Nenu getting a little bit high, but it gets him the line piece he needed to tear it down a bit. Seeing a lot of dependencies form as the players get more aggressive.
Sharky getting up a little bit high there for Das. But he's going to bring it down, no problem. Taking some burns. Getting droughted here, 24 on the drought counter, and Nenu 22 on the drought counter. So two completely independent games, serving up long droughts for both players, and both of them surviving and getting Tetris.
Wow, and they Tetris at the same time. It's that Tetris hive mind.
Yeah, they're so connected. All right, something happened to Nenu's camera. Nenu, keep playing. You just keep playing, but Nenu's camera is sort of an issue. So we want Nenu to keep playing here. 387 for his game is still visible, but he is not. 388 for Nenu, 332 for Sharky.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it was something out of his control, so I'm sure the judges will figure out what needs to be done, if anything.
Maybe this is what happens. Maybe Nenu has just turned to the dark side, and this is kind of what happens, right? So we don't know. He's going full-on Sith Lord right now. 437 for Nenu, 364 for Sharky. So big pace from Nenu and another Tetris from Nenu.
Yep. But yeah, that was an interesting coincidence. The double droughts and then them getting out at the same time. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
we'll see more of that definitely once we have our finals in December with same piece RNG.
Yep, 506 Nenu. We're approaching transition here. Sharky with a dirty Tetris in the third column. So yeah, everybody, we're going to play it out, no problem. Obviously, it looks like something outside his control, and he's still moving pieces, so there you go. Sharky's transition here, 445, probably a lower transition than, you're kind of looking for at these stakes.
Yeah, Nenu's scoring great right now. He's got 552 and hasn't even transitioned yet, so he's definitely at max out pace. And in the lead going into the transition. 2 more Tetrises ought to do it. There's one.
He's going to have to take a burn here.
He's going to have to burn and get it back down in order to score again. And he gets out of it nicely. Playfield's in great shape. Both players are nice and clean.
So 507 Sharky, 609 Nenu. Sharky with a Tetris. So about 3 Tetrises behind is Sharky right now. The game totally counts. I just want, Nenu, if he's listening to this game is going to count. The judges have said it counts.
Yeah, it might be helping him figure out what's going on. So
you just play your heart out, Nenu. We'll fix it all afterward.
The game's been pretty much in a 100,000 point lead situation for Nenu. Sharky's got some catching up to do. And Sharky's also 10 lines ahead, so Nenu's lead's even bigger than what the numbers say. And boom, Tetris for Sharky's. Got some nice tucks, makes it look easy.
And Sharky have a little bit of burning to do. That's going to put him a little bit further behind as Nenu still Tetris ready and waiting.
Yeah, is Sharky gonna... Yeah, he's looking to minimize the number of burning he had to do. Okay, now that sets him up to move the well back over to where it needs to be.
Great sequence. And Sharky just trying to stick around here, wait for the inevitable. Well, what he's hoping is the inevitable sort of slowdown from Nenu, but Nenu does not look like he's slowing down at all.
No, he's not. Pedal still to the metal.
That's right. 797 Nenu, 737 for Sharky.
It's almost like he's increasing his aggression at this point. It's different from the games we've seen him play previous.
Oh, he missed the S-spin down the right side. That's going to slow him down for about 4 to 6 lines.
Just a little bit. Yeah, there. He's Tetris ready again.
It's a little bit of an opening for Sharky if he can, maybe make back one of these Tetris, kind of difference.
Oh, Nenu's super clean right now. It's just on a tear. Sharky's playing a little high.
Playing a drought here. 27 drought for Sharky. Survived. Trying to get set up again.
Nenu's board is in such great shape. He's down to the bottom and building for more.
Oh, and Sharky can't get a piece over to the right side. He was up a little bit too high. And Sharky's going to top out at 809, and Nenu is good. So Nenu... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, and Nenu's going to keep going, I guess, because I'm not sure if he's completely aware of everything that's going on, because what his computer's doing right now might be blinding him completely.
Yeah, exactly. So he's doing the right thing and just keep playing until he can't play anymore. So we have these players kind of dialing in. Well, not dialing in. That would be if it's like 1992, but whatever. They're streaming into us from
max out,
and there's the max out from Nenu. Course
into the kill screen.
So we've got players coming from all over the world, all kinds of different setups, all different internet connections. So it's really a marvel that we're even able to do this. Who needs to win this match to force another match and then win that match too? I mean, it reminds me of like like soccer in a way, because it's this long, kind of slag through, and you're just kind of, it's a real battle between two teams and over a long period of time. And you got to believe that when you get through this whole gauntlet, gamut, whatever, like you are battle tested and ready to go.
Yeah, actually it'll be interesting to see how endurance plays a factor for a lot of the different participants in this. Today is actually pretty long. Top 8 won't be as long as this, but this is really a test. And to see is this we'll get some feedback and see, well, maybe is double elimination making it harder, or is it better, or is it something that we want to do in the future?
Yeah,
even for a live event.
It's definitely something. There was a vocal group of players throughout the years, and they will double elimination. They want that, and true, it's great for the players because it sort of reduces variance. If you have sort of an uncharacteristic or a game you think is uncharacteristic of you, you get to come back and try again and put up a real performance that you think is worthy of you, and so players will like it for that reason. But on
the audience gets the matchups that they wouldn't normally have otherwise.
Yeah. On the other hand, it's like super tiring, right? So
yeah,
for the players, but it is a real test.
Mm-hmm. And for a live event, it would be even more grueling, because then you have to, move around more, and you have to arrange for people to be at the same place at the same time to get it all done. So the fact that people are kind of at home and scheduled to do this makes it a little bit easier. So we'll see how this pans out in different arrangements.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about your hotel and getting back, and where's my Uber and all that. Just go right to bed, which I plan on doing.
Yeah, I do kind of miss the parties though, and just seeing everybody.
Well, it'll all be back, and who knows? Maybe we'll make some secret Zoom parties and get crunk or something. Who knows? So 255 for Nenu, 197 for Sharky, getting high up there.
Sharky playing way up there for Das.
Yeah. And Nenu with about a 50,000 point lead here over Sharky in the early goings. And Sharky again, pushing down, so he's going to be playing a little bit in the future.
Yeah, so Nenu with a little bit bigger of a lead than the numbers say. Halfway to transition. Gonna have to cause a few burns there for Nenu.
Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, Chris, I mean, if this were not double elimination, Nenu would have been gone by now, right? But I don't think there's anybody that would say, well, Nenu is a person who deserves to go out in the first round, right? I mean, so it's good that he's getting his shot here, and it also says, hey, Sharky, you've got to prove that you're not on some miraculous run here that you can back this up.
No, Sharky is definitely proving his talent and consistency now. So that he didn't go through easy players either. So
God, no. I mean, of course, almost. I don't think there's anybody in this field that's an easy player.
Yeah, our brackets are so stacked; it's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's just a testament to how our preliminary qualifiers were. That was just a big test in itself.
Sharky going through a bit of a drought here, 27 line piece droughts, fighting his way through it, and you got to be able to do that. The game can throw you this at any given time. There's no, unlike modern Tetris, there's no coating there to make sure that the RNG's rough edges are smooth, sanded off. It's not that at all. This game can not give you a long bar and not give you one for a very long time. So you have to play in such a way that doesn't automatically just say, "Oh, I guess I lost. I didn't get a long bar." Right? You've got to be able
it's part of the skill, being able to deal with that, and that's something that Jonas proved early on when he was just the undisputed champion in his time. Ooh, Sharky with a missed shift there.
Yeah, should be able to get a Tetris here and keep this low enough that we can burn this away. No problem. 454 Sharky, 505 Nenu. Sharky coming up on transition. And he's really prioritizing getting into transition. And he's going to set up for a Tetris.
And Sharky into the transition. Nenu still with a slight lead, point-wise. But since Sharky's almost like 20 lines, that's about 13 lines ahead now. And Nenu with a really clean board. He's going to be able to get a couple of Tetrises before transition on max out pace here. And Nenu goes into transition. 581k. Comfortable lead. 85,000 point lead. Sharky's board's mainly clean, but he's building one off of the field. He's going to keep that well. Yeah, it's a little riskier.
Yeah, and he was kind of stretching the limits of Das with how high that ninth column was. Defining that well, but able to get a piece over. Maybe if it were one or two higher, he wouldn't have been able to without a hyper.
Yeah.
Sharky's really looking for an opportunity here to just have Nenu slow down a bit, and so that Sharky can just start to chip into this lead. But we've seen from Nenu that is not something Nenu does very easily.
Sharky's maximizing. He's using every opportunity. He did some hyper jolting right there, getting those pieces over. I think he wanted to get that block one more over to the left, but he's still a bit safe. As long as he gets the right pieces to be able to burn that off, he's gonna have to do it from the top, and he does. Ooh, he had to cover up as well there. He'll survive, but his scoring potential just dropped a bit.
Yeah,
and he's drilling back down.
Some pole vaults to get some of these pieces into place here.
Yeah, Nenu is not letting up at all. Wow. Nice dig by Sharky. I mean, it wasn't even that much of a dig, but the amount of timing he had to have to be so precise to get those burns.
There's a way in which tapping is very forgiving in the sense of, you kind of mess up on one piece. Well, it doesn't really affect your ability that much to move the next piece, but DATS is very different than that. And
you lose your DATS charge and it's over.
Yeah, your next several pieces will be a real challenge. And so it's such precision required to keep it charged and ready. And also to recognize when you lose it. Wow.
That was an amazing spin by Sharky. That was tight. And then he's rewarded with a Tetris after. Sharky is just on fire now. Even if he's behind by points, just seeing those line clears done. Amazing.
Yeah. Now Sharky is back by about a Tetris and a half, Tetris and 2/3, but that line differential here.
Now it's definitely a factor. So skillfully burning that back down. Wow.
And with Sharky's movement, it's almost like he's like starting a chainsaw, and just whipping that energy into the pieces. He's got to stay.
He's trying to build a well there.
He's got to, and he gets the Tetris.
For Sharky, and that is the kill screen. Let's see how much he can do post 29. Oh, he did so. That was valiant. That was Tetris heroics on display there. Wonderful performance, but Nenu's just not letting up one bit. Still playing. Wow, GG's. Amazing fight there. That was one for the highlight reel. Just seeing Sharky survive those situations and so skillfully burn and dig. What a show.
Yep, so Nenu is good, and Nenu is topped out here. Thumbs up from Nenu. He's such a nice kid. Both of them are really. But Nenu now a 2-1 advantage in this match over Sharky. Now again, don't forget, if Nenu wins, Nenu will reset the bracket, and everybody will have lost one game in the entire, at least one game in the entire bracket. And then this is a true resetting, and then winner take all match that would be forced. Sharky only has to win this one match, and it would be over, and Sharky would clinch it. So,
but for the first time, Nenu actually has, a bit of breathing room. Like he hasn't had that till just this match, and this 1 point advantage here.
That's right. He's got a game to give away here. Would prefer to close it out right here and force that bracket reset.
But think about this. No one has played, at the end of the day, Nenu's going to have played more games than any of the other competitors.
Mm-hmm. That's right. No matter what happens. And that's just, it's got to be a factor. But that's what this whole contest was designed for, right? It's skill. It's how much you know about stacking. It's your endurance. It's the total package. And I think once we get to the end of this entire process in December, and you add in, all right, who's going to learn what from what experience they had, you add all that stuff in together, and you will crown. This is not to take anything away from previous world champions, because I think they're pretty decisive. But I think in a lot of ways, it's a very definitive championship here.
Yes. And being able to have that opportunity to fight your way out of a loser's bracket, that's new to us. And I'm seeing a different dimension here. And there's the fight that you have right in front of you, and then you've got the long haul. And Nenu's definitely proven that he can excel at that.
And don't forget, what time it is in where Nenu is in Indonesia. I don't know what time it is, but I know it's really early and weird time for him to play. But it's he had to get up super early in the morning, ungodly hour, and he's still continuing to go. So his whole sleep schedule is fighting against him as well.
And being having hyper tap ability, if that's a factor in endurance, then having double elimination and longer event times and more tests might actually be a disadvantage for hypertapping in a way, because you actually have to be able to maintain that skill for longer periods of time. So who knows, maybe a new meta will form where DAS players are going to kick back and get through their 20 matches when we have a 128 man bracket, nice and easy, while the hypertappers are we might have to start up a a Tetris triage station for carpal tunnel, and have to have new waivers to sign. And
exactly. Sharky in a little bit of trouble here, but some nice pieces here to clear this down. Sharky's able to wait this out, and he will be able to burn this down basically to the bottom. And he's open for a Tetris and gets it. And that's got to feel good. So he's back by 42,000 points, about a Tetris, about just under 2 Tetrises. So one for Nenu to pile on.
Nenu's super clean right now. Sharky's led to the double well. Some line dependencies there. He'll be able to fill that in.
Yeah, Sharky was really in danger of topping out during that sequence. He was up high, he was getting droughted, and then just sort of the spiral. But he was able to kind of stay with it, and he's still here.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time. Nenu's pulled ahead quite a bit. He's going to get Sharky might get a dirty Tetris here. Yep. That cover is well up, but shouldn't be anything he won't be able to clear easily. Oh, it's got the alternating burn shelf for a bit, but he clears it easily.
He just needs to get rid of that one block over the right side well. It'll only be good for a triple, but it'll take some pressure off his stack.
Okay, digs out from the top, and he's open.
All right, but he finds himself in an 83,000 point hole against Nenu. And he's also 12 lines ahead again. Sort of a factor here. And in terms of the hyper tapping, the other issue too is, it is physical exertion in a way that DAS is not. You're going to have sore hands after this much, but really, the hyper tappers generally shake their entire, arms, like either at the shoulder or at the elbow more commonly. And you're going to get sore. And when some of them do report that they get sore, so they have to take breaks. So that is also going to be a factor. So you'd see that shifting to maybe players will learn DAS for the early levels and reserve 19 hyper tapping for 19.
Yeah, I actually think and I think when I was doing either commentary or I was being interviewed at the preliminaries for, I think it was 2017. It was at the event in Southern California. I actually qualified. I qualified in 8th seed, and then Harry Hong destroyed me. And at that event, I was like, hyper tapping is the future, but I actually think that it's going to be a combination. After seeing all that's been happening in the scene, it's going to be a combination of those skills that's really going to be the next generation.
All right, Sharky up high here.
Yeah.
He's kind of in a situation. He needs one more line bar to clear out. He's open on the right side. Still not out of the woods yet. Needs something, and it's hard for him to burn. So he's closed off that right side, and he might be done. And he's getting pieces over to the left. Unbelievable for the DAS player. There's tapping going on here.
Wow.
Unbelievable. He opens up the right side, and he's up this high. And I don't know what he can do on that left. How is he getting that piece over? And he needs a long bar for the right. It's just not coming at the right time. And Sharky is topped out, and Nenu has forced a bracket reset.
Nenu is just on a tear now, and Sharky's been making some valiant digs.
How did he? I don't know how he was doing that stuff on the left. It wasn't DAS. It was like double quick taps. It's hyper tapping at that point.
Yeah. It is the combination that I was just starting to talk about, and having the skill to be able to conserve your energy with DAS and being able to tap when you need it. That's going to be an emerging skill.
Wow.
For GGs. And now, we're having to get some endurance on Sharky's side because he's playing a game that he wouldn't normally have had to.
So this is it. Everyone in the bracket has lost at least one match at this point. So this is
It is a bloodbath on Halloween.
How long were you waiting to say that, Chris? All right, there we go. All right, we've got to reset everything here. We have reset the matches. We've reduced all the hearts. And now players need to indicate that they are ready. And they're ready to jump right back in. Shockingly, I would have needed a few minutes here. But they're jumping in.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
Like they said in that one promo, it's Halloween and there will be blocks. Here we go. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
You're really good at that. I admire this a lot. What a turn of events here. Sharky gets up to a 1-0 lead against Nenu. Nenu comes back and just roaring back here with 3 straight games, and now it is anybody's ball game. I mean, this is it. You win, you're in. You lose, you're out.
Mm-hmm. But Nenu's just on a momentum tear. I mean, to come back, losing early and then having to fight all the way back. I mean, it wasn't someone who won, and then they had to do a couple of loser bracket matches. He had to do them all.
Yeah. Yeah. So what a battle between these players, and these are gladiators of the mind. And here's like Sharky with the Tetris. He's up by a Tetris and a half now. You can tell he's locked in. He's focused. Earlier games, he was kind of more at ease and kind of bopping around, but right now he's staring deeply into these pieces, focusing really hard. And he's getting up high here and getting droughted again. Oh, and a mischief from Sharky.
Mischief. And he's able to dig back down. Still in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, good placements from Sharky to get out of this, but having to put a few Minos on top of his gaps here, which is always Monka S, as the kids say.
And finally digging back down to safety. And he's open.
It's a long bar. That'll be a nice looking J, and he's got the Tetris, and all right,
yeah,
he can release a little bit.
Yep.
Just unclench a little bit. But he finds himself now one Tetris hole where he was up by a Tetris and a half. So that gave Nenu an opportunity to get right back in it.
Mm-hmm. Here we are neck and neck. Even the pull down speed isn't that different this time. They're only 6 lines apart.
That's right. We'll see if the Sharky continues to push down. It does look like he's going to. Nenu with a Tetris. I mean, this one was, really just destined to go as long as it possibly could. I mean, how many deciders and reverse sweeps, and now we've got a bracket reset and a double. These guys will now be playing their 3rd match against one another. So, incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at our schedule now. We were supposed to start the second group at 1:30 p.m. and now it's 7:30 p.m. my time. So, if we were in Portland, it'd be like 2 a.m. now.
Yeah, you bet. Well, this is why you can't do, double elim and all that kind of stuff there. And then, the 64-player bracket. So, who knows? Maybe sometime down the line, there'll be sort of a hybrid with early rounds, done online and then, finished up, maybe top 16 or top something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a tough thing because, people also want to travel out to qualify, for the experience of taking the
I
shot.
think it'll be some kind of combination. You'll be able to qualify both online and to do something like this online, or show up in person. There'll be a certain number of slots. You can see that happening.
Sharky with another drought here, able to survive it and get a Tetris. He's in the lead by about 2/3 of a Tetris.
Really close game, though. Wow.
Boom Tetris for Sharky, and there's another one for Sharky. So he's now up by a couple of Tetrises here after Nenu Tetris.
Just like that, yeah.
Nenu keeping it safe with that double wide well on the right side, willing to take a couple of burns here, to set up for a Tetris at any given time, which kind of makes sense, I guess, against, kind of DAS player. You would expect to have a little bit of an advantage where you don't have to play as aggressive, and Sharky really has to kind of not let up. That's really kind of the disadvantage that Sharky's at, just, DAS player. But on the other hand, he's got all these hyper tapping tricks that he's pulling out, and able to execute with them. So is it a disadvantage? Is it not? I mean, who knows? I don't know what he's doing over there, but it's got him this far.
Yeah. He's definitely, when it comes down to surviving, Nenu with a mischief there.
Multiple droughts for each player here, and both resolved.
And Sharky's board's in great shape now going into transition. Nenu's got to clean that up. He's got about 12 lines to do it. It's going to affect his score, and Sharky's ahead right now. Nenu going to clear that all out in time. Got 5 lines. Transition. It's mostly clean. It's manageable height. And there we go. Tripled it out. Transitions with a clean board. Didn't do anything too aggressive there. And we're off to level 19 speed.
Sharky with about 3 Tetris lead.
Nenu with a sigh, getting his momentum back there. Free from the dig. Boom, Tetris for Sharky, winding the lead to about 80,000 points. And both players have clean fields. Sharky up by about 10 lines, so it's a little bit closer than it may seem. And Nenu opting not to go for a center well, instead to clear it out and rebuild the well on the right. Sharky up by 100,000 points now. Nenu with a clean board though, so taking a triple there. Conservative, but into a Tetris, so he's able to score a bit back there, but Sharky right back into it. 100,000 points still in the lead with a clean board. He needs to fill out that left side though, and instead of he smartly Tetris to bring it down a bit, and he's gonna do a couple of quick burns. Nothing too wasteful. Playing a bit high, but okay, he's burning it down. Just gets the right pieces. It's like nice and clean now. Ooh. Oh, and he wasn't able to clear that out, so he's got double. He's in survival mode again, playing very high. And nice dig. Clutch play there. And safe for just a moment. Need the line bar really badly.
Getting droughted for it.
He got droughted.
Get it. He's going to top out, and Nenu is already ahead.
Nenu still just tearing through it. Not letting up, and it's enough to take that first round from the bracket reset. Still with all the momentum is Nenu. But Sharky just showing amazing survival skills. We are seeing a clinic in Tetris survival. And wow, Sharky's putting on a show. I mean, win or lose, these are going to be highlight reels.
Yeah, you bet. All right, we're waiting on a ready from these players. Once we get it, we will get into game 2 here of match 3, ultimately, between these players. But after the bracket reset, we've got a new finals, and they are ready, so let us get it started.
Two, one, Tetris, Tris.
It never gets old. I love it. I could never do that. I'm going to practice that for tomorrow.
All right. No, that's cool. I want to. It's fun when we play off each other. So, ooh, nice line spin by Sharky.
I do like the line spin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a lot of ways, I kind of wish I didn't know there were droughts. You know what I mean? Like, that's what kind of, just kind of want to believe that there aren't any droughts and the game giveth, whatever it has. But no, I mean, it's just, you got to prepare. A lot of this game is just drought management, being ready for anything, and just being able to survive when these droughts happen. Yeah.
As our previous generation of champions proved, it's not all RNG. You definitely can have the skill to play in such a way that the droughts won't kill you, and that's why we had Jonas as a 7-time champion. You don't get to be the 7-time world champion without the skills to be able to survive those droughts.
Nenu getting up a little bit high above where the next box would be, so just taking a couple of doubles here to burn. Sharky with a Tetris on the right side, and Nenu with a Tetris already set up for another one. it is.
Sharky getting enough long bars to complete that combo. And we are still neck and neck. Line count's exactly the same.
Trading the lead back and forth. Nenu with a Tetris, Sharky with a Tetris.
Slight misshift by Nenu. He's going to have to dig just a bit to clear those holes out.
And here's a chance for Sharky to make some of this back. He can just get a long bar, one of these centuries.
Yeah, he's got the double wide though, so he's safe. Boom, Tetris for Sharky. Still neck and neck.
Interesting placements by Sharky here. And yeah, we can't really burn in those like second and third from the bottom. So gets a Tetris here, but has a couple of holes. This is going to slow him down while he tries to burn this out. He's got a 1 Tetris lead, but Nenu is set up.
And yeah, we're not seeing a whole lot of burning from Sharky. So, I mean, overall, his game is pretty aggressive. He's doing the best he can with what he's given. He opts to take the triple, the dirty triple, instead of building a full Tetris. I think he's going to try to burn it down. Nenu with another misshift. You're seeing a little bit more misshifting for both players. So, even with or without hyper tapping, you're playing enough of a game, any game, with a controller is going to take a physical toll, and you might be seeing that.
Yep, fatigue a factor.
Boom, Tetris for Nenu.
And also, sort of just the emotional toll, right? It's a long day, frustration sets in, you get a couple of droughts at the wrong moment, and you sort of take that, we'll start to take that personally, but you've got to be able to have sort of the mental wherewithal to say, okay, what can I do from here on in and put all that behind me? Sharky's going to clear up on the right side, Tetris ready.
And boom, Tetris for Sharky, and boom, Tetris for Nenu. Going back and forth here in a very close game here. Getting within that 30 lines to transition range. Nenu pulling ahead slightly. Sharky set up for a Tetris. Oh, Sharky having to do a couple of burns. Nothing too dangerous yet. But this is where you want to get your board in perfect order.
Nice patience from Sharky to make sure that he was able to keep that well open. And it pays off. Tetris for him. So still within, about a Tetris. Nenu's going to open it back up, though. And Sharky's got a little bit of work to do to get Tetris ready again. And Nenu, another Tetris.
Going into transition with the next Tetris, as he has to burn for double here. Whew. And yeah, the ult closes well there, so it's in survival mode again. He's gonna need some decent pieces.
Getting that piece over the left, not easy here. Pulling the ripcord to do it.
Yeah. Survive. Ooh, barely pole vaulted that. I mean, you can't really pole vault a block, but the timing that he used there enabled him to survive.
Oh,
he needs the line.
Wow.
Rival skills here. He's going to need some good pieces. He needs a line over on the right.
Ooh, and Sharky's going to top out. And just drought it again and just sort of long bars not when he needed him. And not getting them when he did, and Sharky tops out 441. Nenu is going to get the heart.
And Nenu is one game away from winning the entire bracket here. Winning so many games, like Nenu's win-loss ratio, and over the last few games, has just been ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you can, Sharky obviously giving it everything he has. You can tell, just emotionally, physically.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, win or lose, like the kind of survival skills that Sharky's been putting on demonstration here are amazing. They're going to be, they're going to be clipping this on Twitch. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, whoever ends up winning is going to go to the top 8, which means whoever doesn't win will end up with a top 16 finish. But let me tell you something, in the history of CTWC, these will be the hardest fought top 16 finishes you will ever see.
I think already, both Nenu and Sharky have fought more matches than any other previous CTWC contender had to fight through to win.
That's right.
So
it looks like Sharky trying to get himself into sort of the right headspace here, taking the time that he needs to just make sure that he can reset, refocus on what he needs to do. Nenu's here, ready. Sharky says ready. Let's go ahead and count this down. Get them underway. Nenu up 2 games to none over Sharky in a deciding match for this bracket group.
3, 2, 1, Tetris!
It's I love it every time. It's so good, and Nenu likes it too. Look at him, see, he's smiling. He heard it.
Yeah, we want to. Wow, this is gonna be a night to remember. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to an epic night of Halloween Tetris, and all these players for also participating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do. I mean, after this, I'm going to be stress eating tiny Butterfingers for hours. Let me tell you that. Leftover Halloween candy. Nenu with the Tetris, so it's still neck and neck here. Early goings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if Sharky needs to make any adjustments to kind of not let those situations happen where he has to be in survival mode all the time. What would happen if you just kind of play safer against Nenu? But Nenu's always got this foot on the gas, so you almost kind of have to.
Yeah, he doesn't let up. I mean, there's just no rest for the weary against a player like Nenu, who can just keep it going and going and going.
Yeah, and I'll say it again. He's had to fight more matches than anyone else thus far. He had to fight through the losers bracket and play more games than anyone else, and he's just still going. And yet, all the momentum is just all there.
Right, so Nenu up by about 2/3 of a Tetris right now, but the stack is a little bit dependent. Sharky with a clean stack, but high, having to take a triple.
Really nice flip there by Sharky. Ooh. He needs something that faces the correct... Yeah, okay, he finally got one. Laying it flat.
Yeah, you can see him trying to avoid taking these triples, because every time you take a triple, you're just burning away your ability to Tetris.
And boom, Tetris for Sharky, and boom, Tetris for Sharky again. That was having 2 long bars in a row just to pay off for all of that digging. That must have been amazing.
Yeah, huge moment for Sharky to get those back to safety, but almost just as quickly building right back up again. Pedal to the metal for Sharky. Super aggressive, high builds. He does have a little bit of a double well on the top of his Tetris well, so
yeah,
it'll afford him some burns. Maybe a little frustration setting in for Sharky in the course of these matches here, but
that was really well executed, and he held out for the long bars, and they came. So
yep, Sharky with the lead here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Tetris and a half. But again, 12 lines ahead, so it's a bit closer than the score would indicate.
Yeah, Sharky playing really solid right now. This is what he needs. Stay out of having to be in survival mode all the time, and get those pieces over to score instead of to survive.
Nice adjustment for Sharky to make room for an L piece, or J piece. See, I did it too. Sharky with a good board here. He's got that little lip there to fill in, but again, having to take some burns here.
Another drought.
Right, so keeping pace with Nenu here, despite sort of the line difference, which is 6-10 at any given time. Bang Tetris Sharky, 340, back in the lead by half a Tetris. But he's going to have to build up a little bit and take a few burns.
Nenu had a slight misshift there, so he's going to have to do a little bit of digging. This is Sharky's opportunity now to catch up in score.
He needs to fill out that right side, which he does. He gets a Tetris. Tetris and a half lead.
Yep.
Nenu had to
and
cover.
Nenu actually covered, dug out of that pretty fast. So Sharky just had a moment to catch up, and he did.
Well, yeah, with how fast these guys can sort of get themselves into and out of trouble, it's like every little opportunity you get, you got to take.
Yeah. Our chat's just going wild. This is a fight to remember. Nenu built up nice and big now. Gets Tetris. Still neck and neck. We're going to be neck and neck into transition, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we are getting up high there. Sharky, a little bit of sort of indecision, last second adjustment there, but Sharky going to burn his stack down, at least give him something workable on level 19. He's going to sort of encapsulate a gap there, though, which is not what he wants to do.
Yeah, single, is... okay, well, he's got... Oh, man, misshift there.
Right, this is still low and workable.
Yeah, he burned that roof right off.
Sharky at 453, Nenu with a slight lead here. Sharky 14 lines ahead.
Sharky having some gaps to deal with.
He's fighting so hard here.
That isn't solvable.
And there isn't anything he can do, and Nenu is going to get the heart, and Nenu will be moving on to the top 8. Wow. Wow.
Nenu with the endurance and with I mean, that's like bigger than a reverse sweep, because that was like a reverse sweep starting from the loser's bracket, going into the winner's bracket, and just continuing the tear on.
Well, yeah, it was Sharky who put Nenu into the loser's bracket in the first place, and then Nenu who had to come back and win 2 games against Sharky in order to get into the top 8, which he does. Unbelievable performance from Nenu and from Sharky. Believe me, take nothing away from Sharky and get your GGs out for both players. We have a winner going to the main event, and it is Nenu. Fought so hard to get here, had to play more games than anybody. Sharky did everything he could to...
just amazing performances. I mean, people are going to be taking clips out of these games. Just Tetris like we've never seen. I've seen survival like I've never seen before tonight, thanks to Sharky and also Nenu's perseverance in so many matches. I'm just floored. This has been, wow, just if this is the start of our CTWC and we haven't even seen so many of our stars play yet, wow, what an opening day. Happy Halloween, everyone. Boom, Tetris for all of us.
Unbelievable. What an incredible performance. Losing to Sharky to get into the loser's bracket, then coming back to win against Tugi, Opox, Polio, and then Sharky twice. What a long road. And, starting at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning.
No kidding.
And it's now 9 a.m., 10 a.m. in the morning. What? I mean, this guy deserves... He could go right to sleep. I don't know. What are you still doing awake, Nenu? Go to sleep.
Hi.
Nenu, congratulations for being the champion of Group B.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm not sure if you heard us talking about this, but you have had to play more matches than anyone else in the tournament thus far. How do you feel? Are you tired? Are you excited?
My hands was shaking.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. Wow.
I can barely tap again.
I bet. Well, you're going to have a little bit of time. This is Vandy here. You have a little bit of time before you have to tap again at all. So you're going to be coming back here on December 6th to play in the top 8. Now, when you were knocked out initially early on by Sharky, how were your spirits? Did you think you were going to be able to make it all the way through this field of talented players again?
My goal was top 16, so yeah, I kinda sure I'm going to be in the top 16. But
hey Vandy,
Yeah.
the chat's saying that the music is going over our interview, so
Oh.
do you have control of that?
Yeah, totally. Music is gone. There you go. Goodbye, music.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry about that. So Nenu, and then did you what's probably your most memorable moment, or the moment that stands out in your mind in terms of playing Tetris here, in terms of the Tetris? Was there something that you think clinched the tournament for you?
I mean, I don't know the last two sets. I just play Tetris. I don't care anymore because I want to sleep as soon as possible.
Yeah, no question.
Which opponent, which of the challengers you had to face today do you think was the hardest one?
Sharky, definitely. He just pulled some, I don't know, impossible quick tap. I don't know how he put that over.
Yeah,
Right.
Amazing.
Shouldn't keep Nenu too long because this guy needs to sleep. But Nenu,
Absolutely.
what will you do
Don't
between now and the top 8 to prepare?
Yeah, play Tetris, I guess.
That's the right answer.
That's
Yeah.
it. Well, wonderful, Nenu. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Congratulations. And you should just get some sleep, dude. Like, we shouldn't keep you any longer. So you did really well. And we can't wait to see you take your place in the top 8 and see what you can do there. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Nenu.
Thanks, Chris.
One of our top 8 going in to our grand finals in December.
Yeah, that was so much fun yet tiring.
We were gonna say, it's
Ooh.
a new dimension to the tournament. You have to play so many matches now. It's going to be endurance, and you're leading the edge. You've got that over everybody else so far. No one's had to play as much as you, and you've proven that you can do it.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, we should let him go, Chris. I think now
We will see you in December. We actually hope to see you maybe in 2021 or 2022. Maybe we'll have live events again. We can send you to Portland.
Oh, sure, it will be exciting.
Yeah. Well, I'll take up the fund if that's what it takes to get him there. That's for sure.
I'm sure. Yeah, with our
It cannot
support,
be.
so we'll find one way. People find a way. Jeff Moore sent him the NES to be able to play the game on. So
And
who knows?
And
The help can come from
Sersus.
somewhere. Yeah, and thanks to Boom Tetris for Jeff for making this moment possible. What a story to be able to help a champion rising up, needing the hardware, and helping make it happen. What a story. The legacy of Boom Tetris for Jeff it's forever cemented now in multiple ways. And you here on Twitch have seen it happen live.
No doubt.
This community is amazing, man.
Cool. Well, thanks so much, Nenu.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
All right. So I don't know if we were trying to get. I can hear you. Hey, Sharky.
Hey.
There he is. So you are here, and what an experience you had. You barreled through the winner's bracket. Maybe, I think you're a person who has a lot of confidence, but I think maybe even to some extent, maybe surprised yourself a little bit with how you barreled through.
Really, my only goal coming into this tournament was to do better than last year, so win my first match.
Yeah, well,
And
you
then
did
everything
that,
else was bonus.
and then some. So amazing performance today. You barreled through some pretty good players here. I mean, you got through Opox, Nenu, of course, to get this far, and then Paul Yao. Not easy. And then, this epic slugfest with Nenu that went 2 rounds here. So talk me through what you're feeling, what you're thinking, where your head's at.
It is funny because 3 months back, after I lost to Nenu and CTM, he has said, see you at CTWC finals. And technically that was the bracket finals. So
Mhm.
I was just like, he actually called it that we'd be playing each other. But prior to today, I didn't want a match against Nenu. I lost every single match. And so beating him once and then having to go up against him again, I'm like, oh man.
He had to earn that right to face you again too. I mean, he had to tear through all the losers bracket, and wow. And I just loved seeing your survival skills. You've pulled off some things I've never seen possible, and we were just like, how did he get that piece over? Like, even things that hyper tappers do, like you're able to survive beyond that. So I don't know what you got that no one knows about, but it's something special.
Thank you, Chris. And honestly, it was an honor to have you and Vandweller commentate over my games. It was truly an honor, since you didn't get a chance to last year.
No kidding. I actually wanted to do that, and I'm honored to play that role too.
So, hey, Sharky, just, when you're ripping these pieces left and right, obviously Sharky known as DAS player with his Hyper Jolt, which is, basically a quick tap with your whole body and maybe sometimes 2 quick taps, right? So, what we're seeing from you, or is this sort of an evolution of like more tapping technique at the top of the board? Is that what we're seeing from you?
Honestly, I don't know. It's just people call me the fake DAS player, and so I hold up to that name because some of the stuff I do, you wouldn't think that DAS can do it. So I just call myself the fake DAS player now.
That's fantastic.
Well, there's a lot of people out there who are excited about the future because of what you can do with DAS, representing that style of play, and giving hope to people have different styles that they're a fan of. So there's a lot of people out there who are looking up to it, and keep up the good work is all I've got to say. We'll be seeing more of you long into the future. And once again, thanks so much for what you do for our community. With your Classic Tetris Gauntlet events and the videos that you make on YouTube, and how active you are in content creation. You're really a shining example of what someone can do in this community to not only be a champion and a player, but someone who sets a prime example of what Classic Tetris can be as a
Thank
positive
you, Chris Tang. I mean, it wouldn't never happen if you never inspired me with your commentary and that one match in 2018. So you got to take some of the credit for all that I do as well.
Take the credit, Chris.
It's the love we all have for the game.
People are so scant with credit nowadays. Take it when you can get it, believe me. All right, Sharky. So we're going to see you. This is not the last we're seeing of you, CTWC. Talk about your ongoing involvement with CTWC this year, 2020.
Well, I am going to be commentating all of the silver bracket, which is, the next 32 seeds after the top 64. And I believe round 0 or round 1, I'll be having Chris Bidwell. Too many Chris's.
I know.
And and then following round 1, it'll be me and JD that will be doing the rest of the commentary. So that's exciting.
Wow.
Yeah. Joseph Saley, for those of you who don't know him as JD, they will be sitting in with Sharky. That should be pretty poggers. I will definitely watch for sure. Sharky, may be kind of quiet now and kind of spent energy-wise, but known as certainly one of the most energetic and hype-tastic commentators. And combining that, because that's one thing. Anybody can scream over a match. But Sharky has a lot to say. He studies a lot. He's a student of the game. And he also contributes a lot of new knowledge and new insights into the game. So it's really fantastic to see your progression. And again, just off of what Chris said, really admire everything you do for the community. So I'm going to be really looking forward to watching that silver bracket. And if you want to see somebody who really knows how to commentate Tetris instead of joke about chicken sandwiches, this is your guy right here. So looking forward to seeing that. And when does that start, Sharky?
That will be on November 21st and 22nd.
Yeah, see, the man knows his facts. He's a marketer. He knows when his facts are, right? He's ready. So, all right, Sharky, thank you so much, and really appreciate your coming on here. Congratulations, and thanks so much for giving us a show.